please make sure to put in the chat. He's been waiting patiently. We'll go ahead and get started with Trace Travers.
Yeah, Evan, good to see you.
Good to see you.
At this point, with Coyne at outside linebacker, you're the most tenured veteran in the inside linebacker group. How is that? How does that feel, considering like you've been the young guy for the past couple of years?
No, it's definitely. I've had like obviously Jordan, Evan, and Coyne as well, and it happened pretty quickly because the move that Coyne made happened. I don't know, only a couple months ago, or a couple of weeks rather, and all of a sudden it didn't even really hit me until we started practicing. I was like, oh my gosh, where's everyone else? And then I was like, yeah, everyone else is younger than me, so it's definitely a different role than it has been the past 2-3 years, but it's something I've gotten more and more comfortable with, especially as these last 10 or so, 11 or so practices have gone down. So
yeah. And with that, you guys had some full contact stuff today, some live tackle to the ground. How did that go on your end?
Oh, I mean, that's always a blast, especially for our position. We didn't get to do it, obviously, with last spring. We didn't get any of that type of stuff. And then last fall, we didn't get to do as much as we wanted to. And then we were kind of right into the game mode. But now with this spring, like a full spring, getting several days of live is really beneficial, I think, because it's really hard to simulate the game situations without actually going to the ground. So yeah, it's always, super energetic no matter what day it is when you're going live to going tackling to the ground.
Gotcha. Any highlights for you guys on defense?
And as far as today,
yeah.
Let's see. I think honestly, just from a physical perspective, I think everyone's just kind of getting more and more comfortable with tackling and just all that stuff, because like I said, we didn't get to do as much going into the last year, and then all of a sudden we were playing UCLA and I don't think we had even tackled yet. So I think, yeah, just everyone's like, I think Craig, everyone knows Craig Woodson is a really good tackler, and he had some good tackles today as well. I think everyone in the front seven too is just like, we're getting a lot better. It's very noticeable.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, others with questions for Evan? Can't let him off this easy. He waited for a half hour, so.
No, it's all right.
You've got him here. Got to get at least one other guy. All right, how about Jackson Moore from 24/7?
Evan, you talked about what the perspective has been like for yourself without Coyne. Just what's the overall feeling in the room trying to replace him with the guys that you have already?
I think Coyne's not gone, so it's like Coyne's just moved over a few feet to the edge, but I mean, you can still feel his presence from a leadership perspective. In terms of our room, I think there's a standard per se that's been set over the past since Sermons got here, really, of how things roll, and nothing's really changed. I think everybody we kind of coincide with each other and work off each other and feed off each other, and we learn, and everyone's still learning, especially since, I think I'm going into my redshirt junior year technically, but everyone's still sophomores, freshmen, stuff like that. So I think it's just, we all kind of work as a unit rather than having just one or two people at the top kind of leading the whole group. But even the past 2 years, as much as there's been figureheads, everyone else kind of worked together.
Okay. Trace has a further question.
Yeah, you mentioned the front seven as a whole is getting more comfortable, and last year you guys didn't have much in front of you on the defensive line. How are those guys coming along in front of you?
Some of the bigger guys like Ricky and Stanley missed. I think having them in the middle, someone like that we had a while ago, Palmer, kind of reminds me of them. So having those big guys in the middle is really beneficial. I think having those noses at the zero technique, and then allowing Brett and JH and guys like those to play more naturally outside a little bit more in the three techniques and the 4 eyes and stuff. Putting them at their natural position has been a lot of fun to watch, and it's been a lot easier to play linebacker with those guys that are like 340 pounds, something that we haven't had in a little bit. So
Cool. Thanks.
yeah.
Okay, Max Frankie from Bear Insider.
Evan, could you talk about Blake Onsalados and Trey Patrick?
Yeah, sure. I'll just start with Blake. Blake is just to start off, I'm super close with Blake, and I've become super close with Blake over the past 3 years. I think he's been here 3 years too. And he's a very gifted football player. He's played this position that he's been playing at for a long time, his whole life basically. And he's just such an aggressive, physical guy that sometimes he plays like a maniac. He has a little bit of Weaver in him. He's still learning the defense, getting experience, because he's still a little bit inexperienced, as we all are really in the room. There's a pretty small sample set of experience for the group, but at the same time, Blake's gifted, and when he gets those reps this coming fall, and also, I mean, just with the spring as well, he's everyone will see what type of linebacker he is. And for Trey, I think him moving from safety or whatever DB has been very beneficial for our room, and also for him as well. The way he can move as an athlete, I think it's hard to switch positions like that, but he's handled it well. He's a big safety. At the same time, he's a super athletic guy that can play in the middle. Not probably the biggest, but he's just like putting a DB in there is something that, well, I don't want to call him a DB, but putting someone like that in the middle is definitely going to help our defense, because he can do so many things with his body and how he moves and just his skill set.
Thanks. One more question. With Jalen Hawkins, Ashton Davis, and Cam Bynum gone, this defense, also Evan Weaver, this defense is looking different. Kwani Dang on the outside now. And would you say that you guys are more gelled like this spring compared to last spring with the abbreviated spring practice and the 2020 experience? Like, do you guys feel like in a better place now?
Yeah, definitely with the 2020 season not going as expected in terms of football and just everything. Obviously, we didn't get a real good feel for how we were as a unit. So carrying over from the fall to spring, I think we were kind of picking up where we left off on that upward trajectory. I'd say that the defense as a unit can all work together really well when we're clicking, and it's just finding that rhythm of just using everyone's skill sets differently, because we have a lot of talented players from the outside linebackers to the D line to the DBs to the inside linebackers. Everyone kind of understands like, hey, like we have talent at every position, and it's just being able to work together and communicate all that stuff that we're building off of 2020 season, spring into the next fall, that I think you'll see a very dominant group going into the fall.
Thanks, Evan.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else with final question for Evan? Evan, first of all, thanks for waiting.